Hey guys, we'll be back again to OSP Pro. Thank you guys all for subscribing to my YouTube channel. All of you guys who happen to subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. To all of you guys who are watching my videos, please thanks for sharing my videos to your friends. And all of you guys whom I actually happen to teach them at schools and from different institutions, guys, thanks for giving support to OSP Pro. And all of you guys who are interested in OSP IT digital solutions, please guys, I also welcome you guys, and I thank you all for what you guys are doing for me and for the institution. Now back again today, I remember making some time back video for C programming, though I didn't happen to get a chance to explain to you guys further more about C. Now today I'm going to show you right from installation. This video is going to approximately take 1 hour. So I'm going to show you right from installation on how to install C into your machine and what you guys need to do. If you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please guys, just go to YouTube and type one known as OSP Pro. After you type into OSP Pro, please guys, you can always go down and then you subscribe to my channel. Please, you can give me a hand and always help me guys and support the channel so that you can go on and learn more. I also do machine learning with the Python, TensorFlow, and also you can also watch other videos of mine like Android app development, iOS, and other things. So you guys, you can always go and watch other videos of mine. So the point is that that's the case. So to download Dev++, okay, to run C, we shall need some kind of a compiler. And one of the simplest compiler to use at the moment is called Dev++. So Dev++ is a very simple compiler that you need to install in your machine so that you can always be in position to run. So to get that, just go to this website, which I'll put down in the link of this video in the description, so that you can always be in a chance to do what you want. Now I already have Dev++ installed in my machine. So to do that, I already have Dev++ installed in my machine. So I'm just going to create a working folder in my desktop where I'm going to be handling up my projects, and it's just going to be called C tutorials or C Toto. So then let me just come and try to click on my Dev++, start Dev ++ to my machine. I just going to need to go to the desktop, and then I tend to hit that as start for me. I want as Dev -C++. So this definitely will launch for me Dev++, whereby then I will start the development. I think you can see Dev++ already already have Dev++. Now the first thing I'm going to first talk about is how to start up the complete development. Now the first thing I'm going to explain at the moment is how to use the editor. To use the editor, the first thing you need to know, here we have files. On this file, how down in this machine, this part of the files, we can always open up a new project, and in opening up a new project, we have two things that involved. We have the source files, where the source files like the program we're going to be making, and then the project file is the project folder that we can always be using. If at all we are going to make a great program with even maybe a graphical user interface, which maybe later, guys, I will show you how to come up with one. So at the moment, the first thing I'm going to do is that you can also open up an existing project if at all you want to do that. And these are some of my programs. So I'm just going to go and show you and take you back in edit. In edit, there are some few things that you can do there, search, then so let me just explain for a few other things that you have to know. To start up a give project for C, you just click new source file, or the shortcut is \, actually it is Ctrl+N. I think you can see from here the shortcut is Ctrl+N, whereby if you hold Ctrl+N, then you can just take it here. So to start up making up your program, remember we need one known as a C compiler. Now what's the work of the compiler? The compiler is one which is going to make our C program into one known as an executable file, or one known as that application. That executable file is one which is going to be running up in people's machines. Like I give example like setup. If I told you I'm making up a setup of a given program, So to start up C program, you just start on type one as hash include studio.h, which I'm going to explain to you. Hash include means you're trying to tell the preprocessor directive that I want you to bring all the modules for C, so that have been part for C. Then standard input output means the standard version of C, whereby input means we entering up the details into the system by maybe given user entering the details, and then .h means requesting from the header section of the file. It's just like a reminder. I give assumption you're trying to say that OSP, please, I would like to come in and I do a short course at OSP iDictor Solutions. Then you put as a reminder, say please, I'm requesting it to be for Python. Now being for Python is going to be the header file, and then you putting up one on us the input output. You telling me what to do is me sending the request. So the header section or the preprocessor directive is going to pick up the header section of the files and understand this file is coming from C, and then it will be helping us to present back our program as we happen to expect. We also have another thing called hash include for us conio, whereby in this time right now at the moment, whereby conio is going to be standing for what known as the concentrate input and output, which is going to make our C in the right version as we are going to be making up our given program. So at the moment, there's another thing that I have to let you know. Always whenever making up a C program, there's something very, very special, and that's sort known as the main function. If you are to make up a C program, there's something called the main function or the syntax of a program. So with the C, they have the syntax of the program, which I always happen to give mine in this format. So there's something here called return 0, and I will simply say return 0 in this case now. Okay, return for us 0 error in the program. So we have this hash include, actually the int main, this bracket right from the parentheses here to here. This what you're seeing here is one known as the syntax for C, how a C program is happen to be made. And you can either put your void or you may tend to give nothing there. I give assumption. How do you save C program? To save C program, go to file, save as. So I'm going to go to the desktop and pick the other directory where we just happen to create today, which is called C tutorials, this one here. And I'm just going to create this one, maybe one known as YouTube, but the save as type is going to be C source file, like that. So when I click save, we have already saved that program or our C. Now we need to compile this. If you try to reduce this a bit, let me just try to do this for you. Wow. Let me just try to do like this, and also open up our files here, and then just try to make this one also kind of small. So if I try to give something like that, if I try to go to our C, so this is it at the moment. So if I happen to come up to compile means turning C source codes into one known as an executable file or an application. So to do that, just compile there. When you compile, you'll see what will happen, whereby this is going to be return, that's the here, return 0. I think you're going to see a file going to be created the other side. I think now you can see the file just created right now. And if you look at the file type, at the moment it's an application file, or one known as, if you're using Windows 7 and below or Windows XP, it will show you one known as .exe. If you check on the property, you will just know that what I'm trying to talk about is this .exe, where exe means an executable file. Okay, good to go. Now this is what runs. If I click there, I think it will launch and goes off because I didn't give the command to make it retain. You can also add something known as get char or get character, whereby get character means in a simple term that let the program get a character from the user. Otherwise, before getting the character, or if it is the character is not there, it's going to make the file to remain. I think you can see our source code or our application is now running and can be retained within the C program. So let us learn at the moment how to come up with the C program. So this is one another first version of syntax for C. You can also decide not to give it in this way. you just come back here in the main and remove that end off. So if you come and compile again back and try to run, we shall still get the same thing, because definitely C program has a different version how to give, though I'll give the right way. Or also you can just come and put your void. Void means do nothing to a given program. So when you say void means do nothing, or void it from doing another funny thing, then definitely the void is going to make the program to do nothing. Then for that case, or in that case at the moment, whenever you use void, you can also use your void, or you cannot happen to use void. You can just leave it as blank. But whenever you use the void, please, we don't use one as return 0 to our given program. So that's how the thing is like. So I think you can see when you use void, the other side will work whenever the return 0 is not there. But if you happen to come back down and try to give return 0 to your program, or either something like that, definitely you'll get an kind of an error warning, something like that. I think you can see down. And when you try to run it, it may not refuse, but trust me, don't use C with a void. I'm trying to explain the right way how you can give your C program. You either use AND or use a void. When you use void, please don't put one as return 0 error or return 0. Now that's the first thing I have to talk about. Now let me go back to the editor. How do we always how can we change the editor version of our C? I'll give assumption. If you want to change the version of the editor, the font size, you can go to tools. From tools you go to edit options, whereby in edit options you can go to font, and then you increase the font size, like I think that, if that's what you want. You can go to the color. Now color have different version of color. If you just come and start clicking here, that implies you are giving up a given color. But now for me, I always like to select a theme. If you come here and you say classic, classic will be something like that. If you say actually I always like to use classic. If you say toilet, toilets like that. So if you shake here and try to give that, that's how that thing will look like. So you can select the rest one, the right one that maybe you like to use, and you always tend to use that. So for me, I will slow go back here. You can take the one for ocean, whereby the one for ocean also looks like that. So if you try to click here, that's how it will look like. So I always like to use one of this Visual Studio kind of version. So I'll come back here in my program, and then I just click Visual Studio and then apply. So that's how it's like, my friends. So if you find this video much interested for you, or you find it interesting, please members, just make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get the best for you. And then if you are coming from Uganda and you find this video very much interesting still, I advise you, please make sure you come to OSPI Digital Solutions, and then you happen to learn C programming to the advanced version. Now at the C programming, the reason why we are still making C programming videos for our main students is not that we are not looking at it being the old traditional language, but you're looking at the element of we making our students understand the real concepts of programming, so that when they switch themselves to other versions of programming, they can always find themselves stable and comfortable in those programming languages. So let me go back in here and just try to explain to you something little. I've already explained to you the editor. Now you can always attempt to give your editor into C program, or how you can always change your C programming editor. So let me just take you back in here in our program. Let us try to make a program to print for us hello world. To print hello world, you type one as printf, and then open up the two brackets or quotes, double quotes, and then type one as hello world, like that. And then whenever we write a C program, we should always end with the same colon. I'll give like that. To save the program, just hold Control with the C, with S, sorry, to save the program. Or you just go to File and then click Save, whereby then it will save for you. Now I'm going to compile again, whereby when I compile, I think I've seen, and when I click Run, I think you can see one as Hello World just being executed for us. And the same applies if I go back to source code and I just click here. I think we should get the same message, Hello World. So that's guys, right now you have just learned how to make your first C program, or how to make your first program using C, like printing up Hello World. Now the next thing that I'm going to talk about in this version of C at the moment is that I'm going to talk about how can we make a good simple little application. I give assumption if I happen to come back with this word and I just try to copy it and then just try to hit it down here. Hello world, maybe I'm learning C programming, maybe with OSP Pro. Now all our minds in all our what we know at the moment is that maybe when you happen to write something like that, we expect the second statement to be in the next new paragraph, on the new paragraph. But it's the opposite. If you just happen to compile this program and try to run it, you will discover that everything is going to be in the same line. Now to avoid such kind of coincidence takes us to learn something known as backslash characters. Now how do backslash characters behave? The backslash characters tend to help us to have someone known as the little bit adds functionality to our C program, whereby this functionality is when they're added to the C program makes our program beautiful and more understandable. Now I'll just come back here and then I show you one on us at the backslash characters for C. We have something called the backslash n, whereby backslash n means go to the next new line. So what does this backslash n do here at the moment? It's telling this next statement that please go to the next new line. So you can put your backslash characters there, and if you happen to save, you compile, you'll discover that statement, the other one, the new statement, or the one which is down, should go to the next new line. You can either decide to not give it there, you give it at the beginning of this kind of a statement, this paragraph here, whereby give inside the quotes and put backslash n. It will still mean the same thing, that please you have forming the u to go to the next line. So most cases backslash n, always backslash n tends to be positive. Whenever there's a some statement in front of the program, that statement will always go to the next new line. If you don't want to give your backslash characters like that, you can definitely go back to the program underneath there and type printf and then just come in and apply backslash character. It will still do the same thing, to simply tell the program that please I would like you to go to the next new line. What's it trying to say? Telling this program to please I would like us to be independent, go to the next new line. So that's how the program is always built within C programming. So if you find that interesting, please make sure please subscribe to the channel and share the video to your friends. Now let me take you to another thing that I have to talk about the moment. So we also have something called backslash t. I give us some backslash t behaves like a tab, giving a tab like that to your program. So backslash t tends to give that. So I give assumption if I say backslash t, you'll discover that statement is going to be, or that paragraph is going to be moved a bit like that. So the more backslash t, the more the statement will go to the middle, or kind of to the center, or where you want it. So that's how the backslash t behaves. We have another thing called backslash a. The backslash a makes one as an alert. If you happen to apply there in the program, definitely it's going to make an alert after running. I think you can hear that sound. Yes, that's how backslash t behaves. So let us now learn at the moment how to work with one another's backslash. That's how backslash a behaves, makes an alert or one another sound to a given program. Now members, that's the real complete introduction to C programming. Let us go into and learn other more features. There's something known as comments. What are comments? Now comments in programming is different from the aspect, or different from the way how we happen to see comments on Facebook and other platforms. Now comment simply refers to the piece of code written by the programmer and is hidden from the compiler. So the compiler cannot sense it, cannot see it, cannot compile it. It's taken to be as if it is not there by the system. But you as a human being, you understand that the comment is there. So what is the main importance of the comment? The comment helps us to make the program that if at all I'm to make give assumption a system that can log the user in and then logs the user out and then do some functions inside. So if at all a user is to log into the system and there's one on us a comment, I can put all my piece of code that I would like to put under the comment, or I can put a subtitle in my own understanding as a comment, and then the program definitely will be in position to see only what you want, but then the other stuff which is commented will not be sensed by the program. So I give assumption there are two types of comment. We have one other single line comment. This is single line comment. Give two forward slashes. So this is single line comment. Like example, I simply say printf I love comments. So if you say I love comments, that statement which you say I love comments is going to be printed. For sure you're going to print it, and then we shall see there I love comment. But if you happen to put forward slash to the program there, then definitely it will be not be in position to sense that. So you'll find that then there's nothing like that in the program. So if you try to compile and try to run, we shall get nothing definite in the program, because there's nothing to be printed out, because you have already hide the equal to hide the other one. Now we have another thing called multi-line comment. How do the multi-line comments behave? The multi-line comments happen to affect more than two lines or block of lines. So that's how the multi-line comments tend to behave. So guys, that's how it is like. So let us just try to make one. Just give two forward slashes and in between put asterisk sign there like that. So this is mul. This is a mul for line comments. I think you can see it takes more than one line. So that's how the multiple line comments tend to behave. So if you try to compile this program and try to run, still we shall get nothing within our program there. So that's how it is, my friends. Again, I remind you to join OSP Dictator Solutions for the better programming skills. If you really know you like programming, then I advise you to come in and then be part of us, whereby you can practice, do things practically, and then you get to know how to use them in the real world. So this is going to be it is our first video CC programming. The next new videos is going to be more of advanced programming videos, which I know you will cope up with. And you can also request any video of your choice by the time maybe you'd like to come in for any video. And you guys who could like to come in for complete short course program, please advise you, please come and study. Don't take a lot of time there. Come in just within a period of 1 month. You'll be already pro in programming, maybe in a different language that you like to use. Now that's how comments done. So my friends, if that's okay with you, let me remove it up and then just take you back to what I want to talk to you at the moment. Now at the moment, since you have already learned comments, would you like now to think of making up a given simple program? And you have also happened to learn one as backslash characters. I would like us to come up with a simple system. Maybe let me just take the system to be like maybe timetable management system. To come up with the timetable management system, I give assumption for OSP. I'll just make my title here maybe OSP IT Digital Solutions timetable, maybe timetable system. And then I just use our backslash n, which I've just started to learn, and that's how it's like. So when I come down to the program, I'll just say that maybe printf I'll just come here and say maybe he'll have Monday. We have Monday, so I'll use backslash t to send the statement in the middle, maybe Monday, time, and then course, something like that. Pop up. So that's it. So if I just change this one to Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, So you'll find that if you have, that's what we have on Monday time. So that implies in a simple term I can just add something here called maybe days, time, and then course. So if I happen to come here and say maybe Monday, I have something like maybe from 10 a.m. the course will be maybe computer applications. Because you happen to apply the backslash characters to send the statement where you want, definitely we shall get something like that. So I think you can see Monday is done. Let me just make for you guys for Tuesday, then you can make by your own the rest. Maybe on Tuesday you have maybe at around 2 p.m. you have maybe software development. So that's it. If you just check, my friends, pop up, I think mine is done. So I want to see you guys who are watching this video. If you find this interesting, I just want you guys to send me a piece of code for that part of the program. So I've just happened to do mine too, and then I want you guys to just go and do for me Friday with Thursday and Wednesday. So if you find this interesting, then just go and do one and learn that. So that's how you can make a simple application system with C. Then our title can always push it to the middle depending on how you want it to be. So I can just also give backslash T there, and then if I try to compile here my program and then try to run, definitely I think you can see our titles getting a little bit kind of middle. And you can even go underneath there and just put printf, and then we put backslash T with some kind of lines there, no? And then backslash N to push that statement back to the middle. So if you check here and try to run, wow, the thing is kind of, so you can make it more in the middle. How you, it will depend on how you want the stuff to be like. Now my friend, let me just integrate myself again back to what known as variables. So I'm done with the one known as how to use up one known as a simple what you have so happen to cover, which is known as the backslash characters, and one known as the, what's that? Hope you can guess and remember that. You know, we have so far learned the backslash characters and how to utilize them, the backslash and backslash T. And also trying to say that now, since you know how to print, you can come up with a given small application which you have just happened to make. Now let me just take you into one on us at the moment and comments. Let me just take you at the moment to one on us variables. What are variables? A variable refers to an element holding a place value of another element. That's one known as a variable. An element holding a place value of another element is a variable. I give assumption you have x and x is equal to 2. So in a simple term, if you remember from our primary, whenever you'll be having x in the program, you'll also be known that x is equal to 2. So in C programming, a variable is x, which next time a program will be seeing, it will be knowing it as 2. If at all x is equal to 3 or is equal to 2. Next time the program, whenever you try to give x, the program will be known that x is equal to 2. Now x is the variable and then 2 is the value. Now whenever you make a program with the C, a variable does not work alone. A variable needs a support. Now this support that a variable needs in a simple term is one as data type. Now what's a data type? A data type refers to the format in which how an element is stored in a given program. Like give assumption, if you say okay, examples of data types, you have integers, int, we have floats, we have doubles, and we have char. We also have something called a string. I'm going to explain. Now let me explain at the moment. We have int. Int stores numbers with the decimal place values, meaning numbers with counting numbers. That's an integer. Stores counting numbers. Then a float stores numbers with the decimal place values. The same applies to the double. Now the difference between a float and double is that a double stores numbers with the decimal place values, but their storage is big compared to a float which is small. Then a char stores numbers with, actually does not store numbers, stores letters like A, B, C, D. Okay, so that's mainly a string. A string stores characters, and then it shall store as a single value, single letter. Okay. Now a string in C programming, we don't write as a string, instead we give it as a char. Then you specify what is it, maybe char f name, first name. Then here we put one as array. What does array do? Array helps us to store that element in the given program. When you come in and give array of maybe 10, that implies someone's first name, we should be having 10 letters. So that's it, my friends, and that's how it's always happened to be made. So you can always put that in your mind, and then you see what to do. So let us just now try to see how we can come up with a simple stuff, so a simple variable. So I'm just going to comment this because I don't need it. That was just illustrating what I'm trying to mean. So I give assumption, I say int x and x equal to 2 or 12. A program to print that, I'll just simply say printf, whereby printf I simply say maybe the value for x equals, now the value of x equal to what? We also know that now the value of x is equal to x, because we are trying to say that let the value of x in the program be x, so that whenever program tends to see x, knows that x is equal to 2. So to make this program become really true, if you say save now and trying to compile, that's it. You may find that we shall just get the value of x is equal to nothing. To make that nothing turn into something, we come back inside the double quotes and say plus, actually I'm happy to come and say %d. Now what does %d means? %d means an integer, counting number. So at the end of the day, that's how it is like happen to be. That's how people tend to leave it in a program. Now we have other things that now have to talk to you guys at the moment. We have something called a float. So how does a float behave? A float stores numbers with the decimal place values. So if I come in there and I give it like that, I try to run, we shall get something wrong. So we always have to respect this %, thereby we shall say %f. From %d for counting numbers, we change to %f, which is numbers with the decimal place values. So that's it. If I happen to come back and compile here, you will discover that there's a difference between these two programs. The other one was at 12, and now this one same as having 12.0000. Now this same scenario happened to with one known as the double, like that. So if you check that, say double. So if you check that and try to run that, I think you can see it is just the same thing. So that's how we can always give one on us our double. So a char stores numbers in the counting, stores a single character. Like if you say char a is equal to maybe having or maybe grade. So if I simply say my printf, maybe my grade is %C for that single character, and then here we just give you a. So your simplest one say my grade is. So my grade is, if you give more than that single character, definitely will give an error. But if you put something like that, just put your \n. I think you can see my grade is A. So that's it, my friends. That's how they make using one on us a char. Now let us look at the moment how to use a string. Now to use one on us a string in C, we use one on us a char, and then you specify the value, like maybe f name. Then inside here we use one on us a quote. Maybe it's going to be having 20 letters. If it's going to be having 20 letters, you specify with that space thing like that. So if you come back in the program here, I will simply say my f name is This is now going to be %s. It is %s that stores numbers with the stores characters, many characters. So maybe this is going to be fname, but again, to increase that so that don't get errors, we use logical and then with that, so that one stores increases the volume. So if I save that, I compile here and I try to run, definitely I think you can see it's asking you my name is. Now to make this to work well, you're trying to tell the program my name is. I give assumption here, you have some letters, and I say maybe David. If I save that and try to run, just try to check this. Just try to take that then and explain to you furthermore of the string by having the following things. I'm just going to illustrate for you guys there so that you can understand it in a simple term. Whenever to have that, there's something you have to know that will really make for you have that meaning of that of fname. There's something called scanf. So scanf helps a user to scan his own value, and for user to scan his own value, we shall need something that's going to be enabling the user to scan that given value. And if a user is to scan that given value and then the value happen to be printed down, we need something that can help the user to do that. So I'll just give assumption, I declare my integer, my share that made fname, and I want the user to enter his own fname. If I want the user to enter his own name, I will simply say printf and say maybe enter your name, like that. I can come in back in the program and I simply say scanf into the program like that, and I give %s like that. I give assumption fname like that. So whereby if I happen to come back in the program and say printf my name is %s like that, you can also give \n there, then here you use one as and f name like that. Now my main point is here to illustrate for you the other previous, because I know we are going to make some mistake, and I would give it to you the right way, but you guys will get hard time to understand it. Now whenever we're using and would like to pick things that involves one on us, that square brackets in programming is what called array. Now array is like some people in QE, and you can pick someone from the QE and give him a number. I give assumption if the program is having like 10 people, like you or 20, like you see here, that implies that 20 people on QE. If you can pick the program person the QE, it will be passing on the letter or the number. The same applies to some letters, like if you say 20 and then in bracket, that implies you're talking 20 letters for that person's name. Now if you check back in here in program, I have scanf, whereby scanf is going to be scanning the users their values or the inputs, picking from the system, and then it's going to generate the complete information picking with the other name of a given user. So if I happen to compile and try to run now, the program is going to ask me what's your name. My name is OSP Pro without any space, and when I hit enter, it will simply say my name is OSP. So you can test as many times, because I know it will work out for you. If your name is that, good to go, your name will be that, and that's good. Now let me check back again. We are done with that so far at the moment. Let me not waste a lot of time at the moment. Let me just take you guys back into one on us scan. I think we are done with the scan, and we are done with the variables. We are done with integers. Let us just go straight into one on us if statements or operators. What are operators? Operators, just like I've said with characters, with the backslash characters, Operators tends to help us make our C program to have meaning, like to have condition within a C program. Like if a program is to compute something, but if there are some conditions that are not verified to be true, then the program will not compute something. Now such kind of cases where we have conditions, we have to bring in one as operators. Now operators, they also have one as operands. The operands are the ones who are going to work for this program to make them really be suitable for what we are talking about. Then the operators are the real grievance symbols that you are going to stand for those operands. Now I know it's kind of tricky term to bring back down for you, but I'm going to show you practical so that you can generate the real way how to understand that. Let me start with this. There are different types of operators. We have arithmetic operators. Now with the arithmetic operators, their main concept is to add, subtract, multiply, find the modulus of the number, and then maybe divide. They are mainly 5, like a calculator. That's the arithmetic operator. They use arithmetic operator to make those simple calculators that you guys know. Now there's another thing that maybe talk about logic operators. Now the logic operators is where you intend to give a condition. If I'm to go or I will not go, that's a condition, something like that. Let me start with this operators called arithmetic operator. And to work with arithmetic operator, this is it. I give assumption if you simply say maybe that maybe int, I'm going to give assumption a, and a is equal to 1, and maybe int b, and b is equal to 2, something like that. You can simply say with arithmetic operators to add those numbers. Give assumption int c. We don't have c. We want to find c. Now that c is going to be sum, divide, multiply, something like that, blah blah. So I'll simply say print c. Or maybe simply say c, but c is same as having a plus b. Now if I simply come back, I want to print c, I'll simply say c is equal to percent d, because it is an integer, and then I put c, and then that's it. So if I come back in the program and try to run that, definitely will say c equals to 3. If I just change this sign here into one as division, it's like trying to say 1 divided by 2, which is approximately 0, because 1 over 2 is 0.5, which the program will take it as something more minor for the program to work for us. So we also have that minus, like I've said. You can use also minus then in the program, and when we try to have that, it will be a negative. So my friends, I want to do for me this one here. What will you get? Just comment down on the video, and then I'll see what you guys are going to get. 1a modulus b, what's the answer? So just go and try to compute for me that, and then you do that for me. Now the next thing that operator that I'm trying to talk about at the moment is one known as relation operators. We have relation operators. With the relational operators, for them is what we have we have the following. We have the following: the less than sign, the greater than sign. We want to compare the equal to, not equal to, or equal to, less than or equal to. We have greater than or equal to. Those are under relation operators. Like give assumption, if I say int a is equal to 1, and I have int b, and b is equal to 5, I can use relation operators. If here now we give a condition, and then down here we tend to give one as statement. You get? So in a simple term, this is what I mean. And if that statement is not true, we have something called else, whereby else does not have a condition, instead it has a statement. So this is what I mean. If a is maybe less than b, print for us this statement here. Print. I'm just going to say maybe print for us true. Now trust me, true is going to be true only if a is less than b. Else, if it is wrong, print for us maybe false. it okay, guys? So if you check back again here in this program, try to run that, then we shall get true. Why? Because A is definitely less than B. But if at all A is greater than B, definitely we shall get false, because 1 has never been greater than 5. And that's it. That's it. It's going to be false. Now that's what's known as with arithmetic, or many the relation operators. And you can test for more of these stuffs and find them more. Now let me just take it straight to logic operators, and then I wind up with that. Logic operators. Now with logic operators, how do they behave? With logic operators we have the following. We have logic AND, which tests only, it's only ever true when it is true with the true. And also have one as logic OR. I've said this is logic AND, and then this is logic OR. Let me start with the logic AND. With the logic AND test that if A is equal to B, I give assumption. If I just change this one, if A is equal to B or is equal to 1, and B maybe B is equal to 5, print true. So with the relation operators, this is how they behave. I mean the logic. There are two types of logic, either logic AND or logic OR. Logic AND behaves that if A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 5, then print true. Just like here. That's with the logic operators. But if, I mean with the logic AND. But if I told this one, you are going to say is equal to 2, and then the other is equal to 5. We know very well A is never equal to 2 and B is equal to 5. So that implies 1 is correct and 1 is wrong. Then we'll go to else, where else is going to be false. The reason is that for it is ever true and true, it does not have false with true. And it's also more wrong, or it's more false again if this one is more wrong, like that. Then everything is going to be in false. Yeah, that's it. Now let me just test for you guys here logical AND, logical OR. With the logical OR, for it, this is how it behaves. If A is equal to 2, 1, and B is equal to 5, I know it's true, print for us true, which is true. And for it is also more correct if at all 1 is wrong. Give assumption this is 40, 54. But we have A is equal to 1, and then the other is equal to 54. As long as one part is correct, for it is correct, just like that. I mean like that, shake that. It will still be true. So that's it. And for it can only be wrong if everything is wrong. That's how it will be wrong. It will only be wrong when everything is wrong. So my friends, I think you guys love this video, and then if you find it more interesting, please just subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you guys can be in position to find yourself knowing how to come up with a given C program. This is going to be part 1 of this video, and part 2 of this video will be a real complete application, simple application with C. Now let me just show something again here. We are done with that. There's something called switch. A switch also behaves like if statement. I give assumption if you say AND A is equal to having, I give assumption grade is maybe A. So you just simply say switch grade. So with that you have case 1, whereby case 1 you have A, printf, grade is equal to A. Now the grade will be A only in the condition that the case is true, and after then we need those to be, we break the case. and then we have the default value, default, which is just a print f invalid, maybe invalid grade, like that. So this is it. Maybe this one is B. So if try to look at the moment, the case is going to be true. You have that. We are testing for grade when it's A. So definitely it will print for us A because your grade is A. But if I change this one to something else with the maybe G, it will simply take us to the default which says invalid grade. And that's it. So you can test for other values like maybe B. Like B. So if you test with the B, it will say grade is equal to B. So that's it, my friends. If you guys find this video more interesting, please just make sure you subscribe to YouTube channel, watch our videos, please come and join OSP IT Digital Solutions so that you can get your best program skill. I know if you're Uganda, you're from Kenya, you're from Sudan, or you're from Tanzania, or you're from Ethiopia, and you're within East Africa, please just come in and then you find yourself environment where you can study and then you get the best for you. So guys, thanks for watching. Please, this is gonna be like that, like I've said initially, that this is part 1 of our video. Next time I'm coming back, going to be showing you how to use loops, reunion in C programming, and the rest. You get whereby we're going to look at more of the logics, and then we tend to give that. I think I still have more than 15 minutes to go. We just use these means and then just show you maybe loops. Now we have something called loop in C. Please members, make sure you comment down my program. Now loop is just like if you want your program to proceed, you get, in a simple term. I'm just going to show you something simple here. Like give assumption, if you say I want the program to print my name 5 times. I want a program that can do this to this number of times. I want a program that can, like mobile money system, the one you guys maybe are happy to make for you. I think it can really work out for you and then give you out. I give assumption, if I say int x is equal to 0, or I'm just saying x is equal to 1. I want to make a program that can at least make this number system to print the value for x up to n x equal to 10. So I'm going to use one type of loop here, which at the moment is going to be called while loop. There's for loop and there's do while loop. Do while loop. So let me start with while loop. Now while loop behaves just like for loop, but then I'm going to explain to you. So I'm going to just come and say while x is, maybe I say while x is less than 10, let me say it's going to print my program to 10. So I'm going to say while x is less than or equal to 10, print for us the following. Print f. The value for x is percent d, and I put backslash n, and after we put in backslash n here, I'm just going to say x plus plus. Now this one still take us back to one of us operators. There's an operator that we forgot to learn, which I think I'm going to show you just shortly back again after this, so that you guys get to know. And that operator is called increment and decrement. Now here we are trying to increment this program. I'm going to show them shortly, and then you get back. Before maybe doing this, I just show you here under increment and decrement operator. Now give assumption, if I say print, I just come back and I say int x is equal to 1. If I want this program to add for me x and let x do something, like the next time x to be 2, I will simply say the value for x is, I can simply say the value for x is %d. Here I put one on as x plus plus. Now whenever you'll be seeing x, then plus plus in front of x, that's called one on as post increment. What does post increment? How does post increment behave? The post increment means that first use what you have, then you add. Like give us something here, first you print 1. This is what I mean when try to run that. I think you can see it's going to give us, wow, I didn't put that thing there, %d. The value for x is %d. So if you check, it's going to say 1 because it's going to say first use. But if you next time when you're printing up again the value for x, we are going to find that the x is incremented depending on the number of times you want it. Just put your backslash in. I think that's enough. So if you check back in here, try to run, the value for x is 1, value x 2, 3 and 4. Get? So you can add that. Then there's something called the prefix increment. With the prefix increment means first add me, then I use. That's called prefix increment. First add, then use. So definitely it's going to start from 2, 3 and that's it. So my friends, I think post increment and prefix increment you have learned. Now the same applies to decrement. This is called the prefix decrement. First reduce, then use. You get? Definitely it's going to start from 0. I think you have learned that now. I think you guys, you can now do form one as post decrement. So guys, that's it. Let me just take you back to loops once more and then just do that. So let's start with one as while loop. So I said here while x is less than or equal to 10. What do you want the program to do? Print for us the value for x is %d, like that. So here I'll just come back here and I say x plus plus. Hope you guys now you know what we are doing. When we say x plus plus, now that implies in a simple term we are trying to tell the program that this is going to be what known as post increment, and then definitely it's going to be adding on a 1 to what exists, and it's going to be 1 to 10. So I think there's a problem. Someone just got to adject that. We have int x equals to 1. Wow, we have something here. The value for x is %d, x there. So that's it. For value of x equal 1 to up to 10. So that's called the post increment, but with the loops. You can just change this one to for loop by you giving it here 4, and then you say here for x you can just come back here and just define your function int x as a variable, then say for x is equal to 1, for x dot, or for x dot, then you come back here and you say x plus plus. Now for it is just a shortcut of a while loop. So if you try to move that definitely in the program and try to compile now, it will just do the same thing. I think that's great. Now there's something else again called while loop, do while loop, whereby with the do while behaves the following way. You come and give your an integer, you define your variable, make int x equals to 1. I'm using the same thing because I want us guys to get the same value. So this is it. Then down here I'm just going to put one as while x is less than or equal to 10. Then inside here I'm just going to get a printf. I believe this video is going to help you out. and then make sure you subscribe to OSP Pro. So guys, that's it. Make sure this video, make sure you subscribe to OSP Pro, make sure you comment down to our video, and then you get your best. Now maybe a trick that I have to talk about again now here. You may decide not to use plus plus. Plus plus is the same as someone saying plus equal to 1. Still the same thing. So if you compile here and try to run it, you still get the same thing. If you don't want that method, you can also just move this one the same as having equal to 1 plus x. Like that, it will still mean the same thing. I think guys, now you're much interested and you will love the stuff. So guys, thanks for watching. Next time coming back, I think now we are going to just be handling functions. If you find this video interesting, please members, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. May God bless you. And you guys who are in Uganda, please, you want Pioneer projects, you want a complete Pioneer project, you want systems, you want websites, you want to host your website. I don't know what you want, but maybe you want something related to IT. Maybe you have a company and you would like us to give you IT support. We can always be part of you. You can always hit us on our, we are going to give you our email address whereby you can always reach us and our contacts. So guys, thanks for watching. May God bless you. Love you all.